Okay, you'll have to excuse the slightly rushed, slightly ill-prepared video of today. I'm mixing a few things together into like last minute decisions to make cooking. Right, so I've minced some beef, so you could just buy minced beef, but I had them beef burgers that were cheap and cheaper than minced beef, so I've just minced them apart, so I've browned them off in some cooking oil on their own. Now I am going to add a few different things, and also we're doing two different things today. We're not just doing one recipe, and excuse the mess. I've been preparing things and doing things, so I haven't cleaned up after myself as I really should. Right, so we're going to add a bit of spice to our minced beef. Now this is korma spice, I believe it was. It may be tikka spice. Whatever spices you want. I'm sure you can get powders and, whatever mix you want. I just want to give it a bit more than just beef. Now, again, I still haven't explained what we're doing. Right, so we're doing two things. We are going to do nachos, perfect nachos. So we have that pack for 38p, and then these were £6 for a pound. So I've got half and half. I'm going to mix them up, and some spicy, some plain, but I'm also not going to make them a huge amalgam joined together mesh like you get in the shops. I'm going to sort of uniquely do them. Right, so I've just opened a tin of peeled plum tomatoes, and I'm going to mince that into the beef. On the go, also, I have some Commons couscous, which was in a pack with some sauce and some marinade powder. I've added some rice to that now. Normally we stuff peppers with rice. That's the other thing we're doing, we're stuffing peppers. So, yeah, I'm going to do a mix. We can have some cheesy ones, we can have some curryish ones, and we're going to have some meaty ones. And I'm going to experiment also with a peanut butter one. See where that comes out like. Now I'm going to mince these peeled plum tomatoes into this so that it's all nice and good. And we will come back for the stuffing stage, I guess. So thanks for watching. See you in the next segment. Okay, so a lot of people stuff their peppers with rice, but I've gone for couscous with some rice in it from the couscous pack because I want to add a bit of variation, and rice is so boring. But couscous will absorb some of the flavours. Now we've already got some sort of sultanas or something in our couscous from the tea mix that I got for 29p, because that's our season theme this time, to have the reduced to clear. Right, so if you want to open your peppers, all you want to do is follow around the top of the outline. Now a lot of people chop them in half and make them into boats, but that's not really a stuffed pepper, that's a pepper brooch. And yeah, I just think it's much nicer to have these miniature stuffed peppers rather than the pepper boats. It's fairly easy to take the top out, and then if there's any seeds left in, you just pull the seeds out. Keep them to grow, and away we go. Unintentional rhyming that I picked up on there. Yeah, but try not to get too much liquid into these. So we're going to keep the meat ones just full of meat and not with anything else. Now, I'm considering whether to add some of the mustard to it, because obviously the mustard and the meat will go rather nice together. Now, how am I going to do this? Am I going to stuff it in with the fork, or am I just going to let it go in? He says as he tries to let it go in, we have one of these that came with some reduced clear food. Right, so we're just going to leave a big glob. That will soak into it a bit better than, mix in better without contaminating the rest of the meats. And you can control how much there is per portion. Obviously that's a large amount of mustards. So it's going to be rather spicy. You want to be a bit more careful than I'm being and not just throw it in, because you will burn your fingers. And try and get a mix of your tomato chunks and the meats. If you're vegetarian, then obviously you can find a vegetarian option to go with it. You can just have tomato stuffed peppers. I mean, whatever stuffing you want. But the way I'm figuring it, cheese and a spicy meat and that mustard I can taste already. And couscousy, spicy ones, even a peanut butter one to try it, a vegetarian alternative, see if that works out and doesn't taste horrible. So experiment, like I say, experiment with your onions. And so that is the one. Now, if you're cooking them and you want to keep your vegetarian ones separate, separate them on your cooking tray so you know exactly what's what and where it is. Otherwise, you know, it's potluck, and especially if you're using similar colours. You could always colour code them, but obviously I have 2 or 3 types of colours, but I'm not colour coding them. I'm just going with the flow. Right, so excuse me whilst I cut this 1 second. You do want to save the top. I mean, you know, I have to save them. Pardon me. Right, so I am going to do a slightly spicy one now. So we're going to take our couscous. Don't fill it all the way to the top, because obviously you want to leave room to mix with your sauces and spices. Right, so fill it about halfway. Just test that your couscous actually cooks. Now you have a choice of whatever spices you want to put in it. I'm going to add some habanero hot pepper. I've got piri piri in the fridge, that's a lot of hot pepper that I just added. I'm also going to add a slice of jalapeno pepper. Just push that in there. Oh, that's spicy. Did I say a cheesy one? Oh! Right, so I'm going to add a bit of hot sauce. Now, the reason I'm making it very spicy is because it's like a little mouthful, so be a little mouthful of spice, a little mouthful of regular meat, a little cheesy one as an alternative to cool wash, and obviously the stuffing in the middle to make it fill out and bulk out, rather than it just being a pepper. I don't think it's necessarily essential to have something like rice or couscous, but, you know, who am I to go against convention with that? Now wipe off the sides because they will burn if you don't. Couscous is a very temperamental thing. Now couscous doesn't need as long to cook as your rice will, so I'd recommend cooking the rice first and adding the couscous to it and it'll pretty much be ready straight away. Cheesy one. That spice is still getting to me. Just checking I haven't spilled any sauce on myself this time. Again, no safety, not something I'm adhering to, but there are safer ways to cut than that. I don't care too much, to be honest anymore. Right, so with this one, I did consider doing some of that, but we're not. We're just going to go straight in with the corn cheese. I would recommend Tickler, obviously from my experience at the Bell Hotel with the world's nicest burger, which had Tickler cheddar on it, and now Tickler cheddar is available in shops. So, hey, I would definitely recommend them. And I'm not sponsored by them. If they want to sponsor me, hell yeah, but no, I'm not sponsored by them, but I would love that. Free Tickler cheddar, yum yum. Right, so we're going to make a core out of that. It's about the length of my pepper. I'm going to chop it in half. Then I'm going to surround it with the boursin and stuff it in there. Now, do I want to add anything else to that? I'd recommend some onion, but I haven't got any onion left. You know, a little tiny minced onion. Garlic, but I've got garlic boursin. Whatever you want to add into it, you know. Think what goes nice with cheese. You could also have jalapeno peppers in there if you want a spicy cheese one. You could always make them, like everything has a jalapeno in. Like the odd one has jalapenos and the other ones don't, so you've got spiked ones and non-spiked ones, and experiments, have a nice variety. I just thought that these were the 3 main things that I could think of that would go well. Obviously you have cheesy spiced stuffed peppers, got a nice meaty one, an experimental peanut butter one, and the spicy hot sauce stuffed one that has the actual couscous and rice in. Right, so we're just going to put a little bit of this in the bottom. stuff it all the way in there. Now again, if you're preparing for other people, don't lick your fingers. You're not Hugh Fernie-Winslow, or as I've called him before, Hugh Fernie-Toadstool, because he does not follow the safe ways of cooking, but so am I. I'm not even doing it myself today. We are definitely not following food hygiene procedures, but I'm not serving it to other people, unlike him. If I was serving it to other people, yes, definitely follow food hygiene procedures, but as I'm cooking for myself and I'm making a huge mess, what is wrong with me today? I'm not this messy in the kitchen. I guess I was just lazy today. I should have also, which I did not do with any of the other ones, cut off all of the seeds before I put the lid back on. So I'm going to do this. Again, this was so last minute, so ill prepared. I didn't bother preparing for it. I just wanted to cook this, and I thought, well, while I've got the peppers, while I've got everything, I've got to film it rather than rebuying it. You know, while I've got it reduced to clear, let's get it done. So one nice stuffed one, that all, you know, cooked together nicely with the cheese in the oven. And then we've got our experimental one. Obviously all of our peppers are different sizes. Now I've picked up a tiny one for the experimental one just because I wanted to, and it wouldn't waste so much if it was horrible. I mean, I've never cooked peanut butter before, so I doubt any of you have. Right, we're having a bit of trouble cutting this one. It doesn't seem to want to cut. Also, the peppers are getting a bit towards the end of their life. Right. No seeds in that one. That was about the extent of the seeds. Perhaps that's why I didn't cut the others as well, like there was no seeds in them. I am also going to cook some chantilly carrots and some other stuff in the oven along with our tortilla chips, which I will be doing separately. Right, so I'm going to do something else that you wouldn't normally do. I'm the only one eating this peanut butter. It doesn't matter if I've licked the fork. But do not do that if you share the peanut butter, or if you're cooking for other people, or anyone else is going to eat your stuffed peppers. Take care. Be hygienic. I mean, especially with parasites, but I mean, so many people that don't seem to know how to wash their hands anymore. It's ridiculous. And I will definitely wash my hands after cooking this and tidy up a bit, maybe. Or maybe I'll just be lazy. Right, so the final thing that we're going to do is our stuffed peppers. On the stuffed peppers is our tortilla chips. Now, we're going to take each individual tortilla chip. Now we're going to sort of, no, I'm just going to mix this in case the bottom's burning. I have turned it off, but, you know, residual heat and all that. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to not quenelle them. We're going to strain it because we don't want it very liquidy. And we're just going to have sort of an individual portion of meat per tortilla chip, so that everyone has an even amount. If they're vegetarian, then obviously don't go with meat, go with a vegetarian alternative. Obviously you can get vegetarian mince and all the things that you want with that. Now, if you know your partner or whoever likes spicy foods, one per chip. Now, tortillas are traditionally a sharing food and party food, and that's why it's, you know, fun to share a big plateful. But when they're all sort of stuck together by the cheese in the middle, the outside ones don't have any cheese, the inside ones have all the cheese, and dips and everything are uneven and nothing. It's a better way to do it. Just have a nice plateful of food. It'll look prettier, it'll be more even, you'll have nicer food, and you'll just grate a bit of cheese on the top. I'll start with this a little bit, I guess. So you want to grate the perfect amount for that individual thing, which may not be the easiest thing to do with the world's tiniest bit of cheese. But since when do we do anything the easy or proper way? Right, so obviously you want to make sure that you've got a bit more than that, and I will do it properly before putting it in the oven. Although that might not be too bad actually. You know, just the right amount to melt it over that. We'll obviously add the little bits, and I add a bit of pepper to it as well. And then that'll melt into one biteful, like a canape sort of. So we're turning them into canapes, essentially. So yeah, maybe I should have done a whole canape episode, but that's not what I'm cooking today. On to the next section. Now I have just microwaved these because I ran out of room on the oven dish with the stuffed peppers as well, and it's immediately obvious why they are done separate, not separate, I mean all together rather than separately, because yeah, they're very space consuming and time intensive and very complicated to do. So I could finish them off with an extra bit of boursin on top, which I will do for one, I guess. Also, some of them haven't microwaved as evenly, but that's my own fault. But they are nice separate individual bites with cheese and the meat and the pepper, and that'll be an ideal sharing. You could even pile them on after they're done, but I mean you risk then them sticking together. But as long as it's kept warm so the cheese doesn't go cold, they should pull apart easily rather than, as they tend to be served, like hard cheese all stuck together in the middle of the plate. So, nice little separatable bits. Obviously it's a bit bigger than a mouthful, but your partner should appreciate the time and effort in making separate individual bites like that. So I'd say if you're going for romantic nachos, do them individually but in a sharer plate. So you know, they pull apart. You could have miniature ones, like I've got a little one there. But that's because the other bag of nacho chips were more broken up. So yeah, ideal. Thanks for watching. On to the peppers. Okay, so once you've roasted your peppers for as long as you feel necessary, they'll come out nice and soft and with a little bit on top for the show. I'm going to try my peanut butter experimental one. Obviously you can then freeze them and microwave them when you wish if you don't wish to have them today, as I'm going to have them as a separate meal because obviously I had the rest of that couscous and the pepper mixed beef and what's it called? Work brain. Tortilla chips, yeah, so adding the nachos and the rest of the beef with the couscous. That's not that bad, it's nutty, it hasn't burnt the peanut butter, it's intensified it a bit, so it's quite a nice taste. I reckon it's a vegetarian alternative. You could mix that in with some other things. Obviously peanut butter is quite stodgy, so on its own, like I've done it, maybe isn't the most sensible solution because it is very stodgy in the mouth. But maybe with some carrot, because I mean I did the chantilly carrots in the oven. They might not be the most well done, but I'm going to freeze them now, and they'll be easier to prepare later. I got them cheap, and they would have probably gone off in the bag in the fridge, so I figured while I'm roasting things, I'll roast them up because they are the nice ones. You peel them, obviously roasted them, they come out very nice and tasty, and they're the nicest roasted carrots that you could get. They might not be as well done as they should be. They probably should have had a bit longer in there. Hey ho, what can you do? I don't know if I'm just a shape or if it's this bending over that's making me really struggle to breathe when I'm doing these. I know I need to get back in shape, but my God, why am I struggling so much to breathe? It's not on. I'm not normally this bad, but I wanted to get video recordings done, so, you know, now that I am able to cook, I wanted to get on with it and do things, but I'm out of shape, and I'm bended over, and I haven't got a suitable recording. I need to sort out recording and get it into a better recording setup so I can do better shows, but yeah, we're rushing things right now, and I apologise for that, but that turns out very nice. So I'll maybe work on thinking of some good alternatives, because maybe, like I say, shredded pepper, you don't want to necessarily put peppers into it, because peppers are what they are already. Carrot is what I intended to say, not pepper. Onion, other things, aubergine maybe? Whatever you particularly like, stuff your pepper with that, and stuffed peppers are nice, especially little stuffed peppers. They are very, very good. And the perfect bitefull. So, join us next time some more. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Continuation of experimentation. We have some beef mince with a whole shallot and onion. We're going to add some leftover mashed potato and some reduced to clear quinoa rice. Yes, I know it's quinoa, but since Final Fantasy VIII, it's quinoa, because, you know, it was quinoa, not quinoa quell to me as a kid, so it's always quinoa. And we'll put that inside some of our, where did I put them? In here. Yeah! So we'll make some nice stuffed peppers. 25p. Everything in this meal is reduced to clear.
Holy magic weight loss Batman, as time has passed considerably since then, and if you want to look at the main channel for vlogs to see why and how I've been losing weight, but you know, part of it's reduced meal sizes. So with it we've got some Tesco, they were reduced to 22p Oriental selection pieces. I've got one chicken wing, lonely, sweet and sour and a bit of reduced salsa. So, I mean, everything in this meal is reduced to clear, at least 75% off, so we'll check it out. I added some boursin into it. Now, I was planning to mix in some peanut satay, so I got a big thing of peanut satay off the market for £1, and it's gigantic, and it's at dehydrated, so it's like you have to rehydrate it, so it's like double compressed really. So that's our inside of our nice thing. It could do with a bit more roasting, but you know, that's always the problem with roast peppers for me. You need to really roast them, let them cool down a bit, and then re-roast them, but for if you're eating them that day it's a bit harsh. So the other two that are in there, they get re-roasting, you know, maybe they'll get frozen, defrosted, re-roasted, and then they'll go nice. As it stands, you know, you can taste the peppery flavour. And, you know, people like their peppers like this, but I like them properly roasted, so... You know, as a dietary meal, it may look like there's a lot of meat in it, but the quinoa, I did a bit of boursin in the centre as well. And the rice and all the other healthy bits, and the mash got all mixed together, so, you know, it's quite a healthy mix. As a light meal on its own, not bad. You know, chicken wing maybe not essential, but I felt like it to cheer me up. I mean, I was cooking them anyway in the oven to make the most of the oven, because, you know, 3 peppers in there on their own is a bit of a waste. So, you know, I was cooking up some chicken wings ready to go. They'll be frozen, ready to reheat and re-eat. Obviously I'm not eating them now, but ready to eat later at an easier, more convenient time. So yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.